Alright guys, welcome to another video for the Poco X3 Pro, and the reason I sound excited is the same reason what I posted on the community and on the Telegram group. Now we finally have a ROM which you can probably install and forget, but understand on a custom ROM there are a ton of parameters that you have to actually test before you actually go ahead and decide that this is the ROM that I'm going to install and I'm going to forget. So today is the first build available of Crdroid 8, which is based on Android 12. It does have a lot of customization. It does have MIUI camera. I have ran the benchmark numbers and I've been using this particular ROM since the last 3 to 4 hours. So although this is a complete review, but from a battery backup standpoint or from a charging standpoint, don't consider what I'm saying too seriously, because it needs to be tested thoroughly before I tell you that the battery backup is excellent. We will see whatever battery backup we've received so far, right? So let's see. And before we get into the details, if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit that notification bell icon so that you get notified every time I upload a video. Remember to hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything and it really motivates us to make amazing content like this. If you think you like chatting with like-minded people, well, please join us on Telegram, and you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook as well. And last but not the least, if you think the hard work is worth the effort, please click on the join button and support the channel. Now without further ado, hello awesome people. Welcome to Phone Ops. My name is Kailash. Let's get going. Alright, so let's see. Right off the bat, what we have here is Crdroid Android 8.0 official. This is the maintainer along with this guy. Brilliant stuff there. Device is a Poco X3 Pro. This particular build will work on Vayu and Bhima. Let me know in the comment section if you want me to make an install guide. Although the installation instructions for this ROM are pretty simple, so it should not be needed. But if a lot of people request for it, I'll probably make a video on that. Android version is 12. Build date is the 9th of January 2022. Yes, that's correct. This particular ROM has been released today. Now, if you wish to support their work, you can donate them on PayPal, and this is the forum thread for XDA developers. Now, the changelog says initial Android 12 release decrypted by default, include MIUI camera. Full changelog is mentioned over here. Let's go ahead and have a look at that. Now, as you can see over here, that's everything. There are no major changelog that is mentioned. Notes is saying OSS based, include GApps, firmware is 12.0.xx, and SE Linux is enforcing. Apart from that, safetynet should be passing. Don't PM the dev. Now let's go to the home screen. Now don't mistake this particular wallpaper for something that is supplied with the ROM. This is a wallpaper from OnePlus 10 Pro. This is in fact a live wallpaper. So if you want to see how to install this along with a lot of other wallpapers, go and watch the video that I released recently. I'll link it somewhere in the description or at the top over here. Now, the moment you boot into the home screen, you will see that you get a very clean user interface, and the initial impressions are pretty good. Understand that I've made quite a lot of changes over here. I've enabled themed icons, I've tested Monet and all those things, but the UI is very clean on Crdroid. You have this gesture pill at the bottom, and if you swipe from here, let's see here. So what I'm looking for is the Android Assistant shortcuts. They are not present, so we'll talk about them in a bit, but the icons and everything is customized from Crdroid settings. So the moment you boot into this ROM, you get a weather widget over here, right? That's a Google standard stuff. If you swipe from the top to bottom, this is a quick pull down that I have enabled. Now what I've done basically is I've played with the customization settings of this particular ROM so that you can understand whenever a particular settings of a custom ROM is in action, how does it look, how does it feel. So what you see in action over here is the quick pull down, because if you pull down from here, you will get access to the notifications, and this gives you access to the complete notification tiles. Now you do see I don't have a SIM card in there, but you do have the network traffic indicator, the Wi-Fi icon. And if you look at the battery indicator in normal mode, the battery icon looks normal, and when it is expanded, it looks different. You do have something called as battery estimates. That is what I have enabled, but I don't know why that is not visible over here. And you have normal quick tiles over here, the edit menu, the power menu, the settings menu. You do have a ton of options over here, including the screen recorder. Now talking about the screen recorder, I did play BGMI. I did use the screen recorder and it was impacting the FPS. So I would advise to use, screen recorder, no ads. Yes, this ROM has a built-in screen, FPS meter, and it is working fine. If you go to the edit menu, you will see that you have a ton of other customization options as well, along with the privacy access tiles, which is mic access, camera access, and location access. You can disable them at will. No apps will be able to access your mic or camera if you do that. So that is a good thing. You have extra dim over here, ambient display. Now ambient display is another good thing which is working absolutely fine over here. Let's go to the main screen and let me show you something. There you go. I don't know. Yeah, the camera is capturing that. So that's a good thing. If you remove it from pocket, it will show you the notifications. If you wave your hand like this, it will show you the notifications. If you pick up the device, it will show you the notifications. So, those are the customizations. And yes, this wallpaper looks beautiful. The fingerprint scanner is working absolutely fine. No problem whatsoever. Now, if you swipe to the left, you will see that you have the Google feed. So when you're actually using the Google feed, you won't have any stutters or jitters. Right now, it's updating. Right, so as you can see, the Google feed is working absolutely fine. No problem whatsoever. It's not butter smooth like some other matured Android 12 ROMs, but it's there. It's not unusable is what I would say. And yes, it is still loading some content as well. Now, the icons over here, as I said, are customized. If you press and hold over here, you will have home settings, which gives you access to this specific custom launcher, which gives you access to allow edit, notification dots, add app icons to home screen, allow home screen rotation, swipe to access Google app. You do have some developer options which leads to the launcher crashing. Yeah, Crdroid home. So it's a Crdroid launcher is what we have. Show labels on icon desktop. This is something similar to what you see in MIUI 13. So show icon labels in drawer. You can disable this as well. See, no icon labels. So that looks a little different. Anyways, if you go to widgets, you have your standard Android 12 widgets which are present and work fine. And then you're going to talk about something interesting, that is the Monet UI or the Monet color theming system. You do see that I have themed icons enabled, and for some reason this button is cut off over here. It might be a bug, UI glitch. They might fix it in the next update. But if you go to change wallpaper, say you go to live wallpapers, I do have a ton of live wallpapers installed over here. If I go to a different colored wallpaper, you see this? Let's go to a static wallpaper and on device, red, let's see. Because somebody told me that Monet is having issues in this particular ROM. Let's see here. No. So the Monet engine, at least for me, is working absolutely fine. No problems whatsoever. If you talk about the multitasking menu over here, you will see that you have this particular option wherein you will see split screen multitasking. You should have that option in some settings. Apple phone, yeah, split screen is there. The screenshot option with expanded screenshot is there, and you have a clear all button. And as I said, the FPS info is working fine as well. Now let's actually dive into settings, because that's where a lot of action for Crdroid is happening. We will talk about the MIUI camera in a bit. So if you actually go to about phone, you go to the Android version, that is 12, Crdroid version is 8. It does come with a December security update. Now this particular ROM was released today, so it would have been better to get January security, but that's fine. It doesn't really make any performance differences, although security is important. Now the kernel over here is Sigma kernel 1.0. Now this is a kernel that I'm looking at probably for the second time across all the custom ROMs that I've been using. You have this beautiful Crdroid logo over here, right? Now moving on, if you actually go to each and every setting, you will see that this is more or less the same. The Monet colored settings menu is looking fine. In battery, you do have thermal profiles, which gives you access to profile management of different thermals for different applications, but you don't really have the 180 Hz touch sampling rate, which is available in some custom ROMs. Now, if we talk about the battery usage, while we are at it, so we have been on battery for around 7 hours. It says we have 9 hours left. You do see that I've played VGMI for like 1 hour 20 minutes, and the overall screen on time has been 3 hours and 30 minutes. We are still at 56% battery. That means this ROM should easily, if you're not gaming, give you 8 to 10 hours of screen on time. The battery life from initial impressions looks better. Now remember, when you charge the phone, discharge it, as in when the ROM settles down, the battery performance will improve. So that is a good thing, right? Now moving on, you have sound, in which you will see that you have charging sounds, you have MI sound enhancer with enable hi-fi present, so that should enhance your audio experience as well. Wallpaper and style is the same stuff that we saw from that particular menu. In security, you have fingerprint, which is working fine, but you don't really have app lock, you don't really have face unlock. That's not there on any Android 12 ROMs as of now. And under privacy, you do have your privacy dashboard. Under notifications, you have notification history. Now, these are standard Android 12 things that I'm talking about. So it doesn't really make a lot of difference because they are there because this is Android 12. Now, the main important factor for any custom ROM which is focused at customization is a customization menu, and Crdroid team have done a very good job to organize it in a very subtle way, and it shows. You have status bar icons. Now, for obvious reasons, I'm not going to go through each and every setting here because that will make the video half an hour long, and that's not what we are planning. Probably if required and if this ROM holds up well, I'll make a dedicated video to explain these settings to you. So just have a look. If you have a question, probably you can pause the video and ask me about that setting. Anyways, you have status bar icons, clock style, clock date, network traffic monitor, data disabled indicator, 4G icon, roaming indicator, Bluetooth battery status, VoLTE icon, voice over Wi-Fi icon, voice over Wi-Fi override, battery style, battery percentage, battery bar. You see that I have the battery bar enabled just to show it to you guys. So you do have options like tap to sleep, brightness control, the quick pull down option, and smart pull down. Now, if you go to quick settings, you have clock, date, battery style, battery location, battery percentage, battery estimate, battery slider, position for top or bottom and stuff like that. And as you can see, auto brightness icon, footer alerts, user account icon, edit tiles, power menu shortcut, running services shortcut, and settings shortcut as well. So, as you can see over here, if you can go ahead and disable this altogether, which is always a good thing because you get more options. Media cover art for lock screen customization, media cover art filter over here, battery info on the lock screen, tap to sleep. Then you have navigation bar, show arrow keys while typing, layout, back, long press. These are basically gestures over here for your nav bar. Then you have some button customization along with the power menu customization as well. And you have UI customization in which you do have ambient display, which does have a ton of options. And you see all these options that I showed you earlier. And then you have edge lightning, edge light view, font style, icon pack, adaptive icon shape. Then you have sound, you have miscellaneous, and then you have the about Crdroid section. Now moving on, you have the system menu in which you don't really have a lot of options apart from system profiles and some gestures here and there. Date and time customization, basic stuff here. But if you go to the main screen, you will see that this ROM doesn't really come with any bloatware at all. Now let's talk about the important part, the camera section. Now, till the time I was looking at this particular icon, I was thinking that, okay, it's just another camera which is supplied with custom ROMs. But the moment you open, you will see that this is the full-fledged complete MIUI camera. Although let me give you a disclaimer that this camera is working, all the functions are working, but the picture clarity and stuff might not be 100%. It's more like 50%. But trust me, it is still better than what AOSP camera would give you. It gives you more options. All the lenses are working. Portrait mode is working, 4K video is working, slow motion is working. 48 megapixel mode doesn't really work that great. This is a portrait from the rear camera. This is a portrait from the front camera. This is a slow-mo video that I recorded using this particular camera. Have a look. There you have it. So slow-mo is working, night mode is working. All these features are present and they work absolutely fine. There are some bugs here and there. For example, let's open the camera application again. If you actually go here and you put it to full, this whole UI looks a little weird. So keep it in 9:16 all the time. But apart from that, I've never really seen any major issues. And this is a big breakthrough to have MIUI camera on a custom ROM which is running Android 12 and a ROM which is performing this fluid specially. The whole UI is great. The customization options are there. The Monet UI is doing a great job. Sometimes Monet is a hit or miss, but most of the time it works fine. One problem that I had with this ROM was I was having a force close of Android system intelligence. Let me actually show you the benchmark numbers as well. Now, this is the one. Android system intelligence keeps stopping. This is not a deal breaker. You can totally use your device normally. It will not stop you from using your phone. And important factors like safetynet, well, it's passing by default. DRM info, widevine is L1, Play Store certification is present. So your banking application and your Netflix, Amazon Prime HD all should work fine. Now let's go back to the screenshots of the benchmark numbers here. You do see that the average performance was 178, 858 GIPS and the CPU throttled to 90% of its max performance. Now that's a very good score. And if you talk about Antutu numbers over here, we have something in the neighborhood of 590,595, which is an excellent score. And if you further go to one more benchmark, there is Geekbench. Let's see over here. 757 single core, 2721 multi-core. So Crdroid making an entry on the Android 12 scene with a bang. The UI is good. I did try gaming on it. While using the built-in screen recorder, the game was lagging, but without the built-in screen recorder on smooth extreme, the FPS even in a hot drop on BGMI or PUBG Mobile were pretty decent. So this is an all-rounder ROM. It gives you most peace of mind as far as camera and all the other things are concerned. From me, the first version of Android 12 for Crdroid is doing an excellent job. Let me know in the comment section what do you think about this video. Until the next one, this is Kailash signing off at Phone Ops. Keep smiling. Take care. Goodbye.